Hi, Mark. Yeah, it is Monday, November the 3rd, start of a new trading week, just after 8 a.m. Eastern. US session well underway. We're going into the afternoon portion of the European session. Let's have a look how the uh, major assets are shaping up this morning. US dollar index looking strong again, fourth consecutive day, green candlestick, and right at that intraday resistance level. 99.78 is my resistance. I've got support at 99.52. US dollar starting on the front foot, and buyers hang around that resistance level. We'll see whether that can continue now that the US session's underway, or if there's going to be a turnaround from strong dollar to weak dollar, and sellers do step in at this resistance area. If I zoom in on the hourly, there you can see hang around this resistance area for now, and buyers looking up at this resistance level as the US session gets underway. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. Hour and a half away from Wall Street opening up, so it's the futures market for now. Pretty flat. You can see that buyers, sellers have both tested higher and lower, but sitting pretty flat for now in the middle of that range. I've got resistance at 6,901. I've got support at 6,871. Tough support level, but overall looking bearish to start the day. Inverse relationship, we're seeing strong US dollar. Perhaps that leads to weak equities as we saw the end of last week. We'll see once Wall Street does open up if that is maintained or if buyers do step in and challenge or test the resistance level. Let's have a look at gold. Gold battling back, but hanging around that what has become certainly a pivotal level at $4,000, sitting right now at 4,070, slightly above green candlestick to start. There was a gap lower to start the week, but buyers have stepped in. I've got support at 3,962, and I've got resistance at 4,027. Overall, EMA still showing a downtrend. Buyers have stepped in around that 4,000 level. We'll see whether that can continue and whether buyers can get above this intraday resistance, get higher, perhaps look up closer to the 4,100. Sellers will be looking to get back below that 4,000 level, looking down at the 3,962 support area. Interesting, we have gold rallying going into the US session, gold looking strong, as is the US dollar looking strong, both moving in the same direction, both strengthening, as opposed to the traditional inverse relationship between the two. Let's have a look at Brent oil. It gapped a lot higher to start, but sellers have given up most of those early gains and pretty close to where it closed on Friday. I've got intraday support at 64.38. I've got intraday resistance at 65.31 for now, and testing this ascending trend line, which I drew in on the hourly. And you can see it has been testing this ascending trend line. Buyers have protected it. It's bounced off like it did 3 hours ago. We'll see if that can maintain and hold up. Buyers looking up at testing the 65.31, perhaps higher. Sellers going to look to break below this ascending trend line, which coincides with the support at 64.38. But on the daily, to start the day during the European session was sold off, as you can see. We'll see now whether there is a turnaround in the US session and buyers do step back in and continue what we saw on Friday and maintain above this ascending trend line. Let's have a look at Bitcoin. A big sell-off in Bitcoin today. 110.8 thousand is my resistance, 106.7 my support. That's already a $4,000 range. Tested the low earlier, has bounced up in the last going into the US session. Buyers have stepped in at this tough support level, which you can see has held up since the middle of October. If I zoom in on the hourly, there's the bounce up, but not much follow through from this bounce up 2 hours ago and looking red again going into the US session. We'll see where the sellers continue what we've seen earlier and through the European session and overall the downward trend in Bitcoin. And if sellers can test this 106.7 thousand support and lower, or whether buyers do see this as an opportunity at these low prices and look back up at the 110,000 looking like a bit of a pivotal area for now, certainly a level that buyers will want to get back up to in the US session. Good trading, keep that discipline, and I will see you at the end of day.